Welcome back. So we put the dough to rest so that it could rise for an hour and a half, and it's now ready to be punched down. But before we go punching it down, I wanted to read you a little excerpt of what I found. We were inquiring. I'm inquiring minds want to know, right? We're always inquiring on why things happen, and we wanted to know why a wooden spoon. Well, I looked it up. A recipe might call for a wooden spoon because wood is non-reactive material, meaning it won't alter the taste of your food by reacting with acidic ingredients like metal spoons can. It also gentle on cookware, doesn't conduct heat significantly, and is sturdy enough for vigorous stirring, making it ideal for mixing thick sauces and batter without damaging your pan or affecting the cooking temperature. But there's more. It also says metal conducts heat, so handles may become very hot when stirring or left in a pan. Now, we're not heating, of course, but those are good reasons. So, again, it's because it can alter the taste, and the wooden spoon will not alter the taste. It also says because they are sturdy and flexible and do not retain heat, they also add more pressure to be added into your mix while beating, thus assisting with the thickness production overall. All right, so we got an answer to why the wooden spoon. We don't have an answer to why this light is changing so many times. Weird. Let's turn that on. All right, so I'm going to close out this camera. We're going to go back to the camera by Little Billy. Yeah. What? Yeah. You gotta get me back in the video. Okay. There's Little Billy. All right, so I got the bowl sitting over there. We're going to put on our gloves. Let's pull it out and see what we have to do next. Hey, here I am. Here I am. I'm talking. Here I am. Here I am. Okay. Okay. What did I do with my glove? Oh, I left them on the desk. That's not a very good place for them. All right. Wait till you. Oh, gosh, I got to show you this first. Wait. You remember how small it was. Now look. I mean, you can see it in the bowl. See how much it rose? Look at how much it rose in there. It's huge. It's heavy, very heavy. Before, I couldn't even get the camera to see it. Now you can because it rose so much. All right. It has risen. Yes, it has. All right. So it says on a floured surface, right? Let's see. Make sure. Warm place, double in size. Punch dough down. Turn dough out onto a lightly floured surface. Divide into 6 portions. Okay. So let's get this back lightly dusted here. All right. And as you notice, I cleaned up a little bit. I cleaned up some of our mess here so that we could get right to this. All right, we're going to peel off our plastic wrap, but we don't want to ruin it because we're going to reuse it. Okay. Now I got to put on my glove. Now what it means to punch it down, I'm going to punch it right in the middle, and then I'm going to pull it out of here. Okay. Got my glove on. I wish you could have heard that. It was like a small balloon popping or something. So now it looks like this big giant donut. Let me get the other glove on here. All right. So what we're going to do with this, it says punch it down, turn dough out on the floured surface, divide into 6 portions, cover and let rest for 10 minutes. So there it is. See it? Gonna Turn it out onto there. Get that out of the way. Now, the reason you punch it in the middle, because that way you pretty much get an even area. So I can pinch it here on the end, separate it, and pinch it here on this end to separate it. And then I'm just going to eye it here. But, I mean, we could use our measurements. Okay. But if I look at this, get that like that. Okay. So if I was to measure this, and it's longer than my measure there, probably say about there would be even. But if we wanted to be for sure, we could have measured it with like a measuring thing or whatever, but I'm just going to go by my eye. I'm thinking here. So if I tear this one, then I tear it here and there, that's pretty close. I want to say that's pretty close. That's pretty even. So, I mean, you can pretty much eye it to see they're the same. And then by doing that, then I can bring this one up closer to it and know right where I'm going to pinch those. Okay. Now you could be more specific. You could get out a measuring tape or whatever. But yep, that's what I'm going to do. So now we've got them separated here. Okay. So we're going to get something to cover them. And we can just use our plastic wrap again. All right. The other piece here. And I tell you though, because of the air difference in here from earlier, got a little heater on. I think what I'm going to do, since I have the plastic wrap on, it won't hurt to put this towel over it. Even though we use this towel to wipe our hands off, the plastic wrap's on there, so that'll protect it. So I'm also going to put the towel on. And we'll be back in 10 minutes. All right. We're back. So far, we have made our dough. We have let it rest. We let it rise. We punched it down. We separated it. Now we're going to separate it again. Each of those 6 pieces that we separated, we're going to separate into 3 each. We're going to roll them out into 18 inches, and then we're going to start braiding them. So let's go. Come on. Oh, wait. I got all excited. I'm like, oh, let's just do this. I got to turn off this camera for the other camera. There's little Billy. I'm ready. I'm so excited. Yes, little Billy, it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm not going to be able to roll the stuff. My arms are too little. It's all right, little Billy. That's why you have me. Now, we're going to need to sit down, too, to do this. So I'm going to bring this chair over, I think. Because I don't want to make little Billy get up. All right, so I'm just going to talk louder. I hope it's not too loud, but I hope it's also not too low for you. And something I forgot about, little Billy, can I scoot you over just a little? Sure. I might fall over, though. I don't want to fall in the food. All right. So let's uncover it. And off here. Now, what I like to do is I like to keep what I'm not using covered as much as I can. You know, just work with what we're getting. So we're going to take this one. Oops. That'll have to be the one I cooked for my family, right? Grab my gloves. Gloves, gloves, gloves. All right, let me get my other glove back on. And I did change the gloves out from the ones we had earlier because they were sticky. Okay. So now all we're going to do is take these and we're going to separate them again into three. So you're just going to squeeze it, just eyeing it. See? That's all there is to it. We got 3 pieces. Do the same thing to this one. Just remember what 3 pieces you got it from, because they need to go together, okay? From that same lump. There's that one. Got flour on my favorite shirt. I should have put on an apron, but I paint. And so my apron is downstairs with paint on it. Because I was using some really messy paints that sink through your clothing. And so, all right, so all we're doing is separating our blob that we had 6 of into 3s. So I'm going to cover these up, back up here. We can't get some cover over them. We don't want them to get hard with the air on them and dry out. And so that's what we're doing. So I'm just making this kind of like a loaf almost, you know. And then I'm just measuring with my hands here. Like so, and squeezing. And just separating them into 3 balls, right? 3. Okay. We'll continue doing that with the next 2. Last one. Okay. All right. So now we got all that done. Cover over what we can. Move these down a little. But keeping them, you know, separate. Together but apart. How many times have we heard that in the last few years, huh? All right. Cover those bad boys back up. Now, something I forgot earlier when I was measuring, you know, trying to figure out eye measuring, I forgot that my mat actually has measurements. So there's these little squares on the edges, and I can't show you now, sorry, but there's these little square or little not squares, little crosses. Each one is 2 inches apart. So in order for me to roll an 8-inch, I can use that to make my measure. So I'm going to take my dough and I'm just going to start rolling it here in a minute. Oh, while we were gone, I went ahead and took the liberty of spraying the pans so that we're ready for that. So once we get these together, you'll put these on a greased pan, okay? And I just went ahead and sprayed them, so that would be one less thing we have to worry about. But I'm going to move them for now. I'm going to move them out of our way a little bit. Because I think I cleaned all this down. So this has all been sanitized. This table is clean. I mean clean. So we can use it to roll on. But then I'm going to have to re-sanitize my table because of the bread dough. But I wanted you to be able to see this. So we're just going to start with our dough. We're just going to start rolling it out. Look at that. Rolling it. Okay. And then we can take it to the table. Okay. hard to do with these gloves on. But we're just going to continue doing this until it becomes 8 inches long. Right now, it is, if I go by these little marks, it is 2, 4, 6, sorry, 2. That's not right. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Okay. Start it there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But we need it to be 18. I said 8, I think, earlier. 18 is what we need it to be. So we're going to keep rolling it. Like I said, it's really hard with these gloves. But you'll see, it's getting longer. And like I said, I did disinfect this table so that it would be safe to do this on. When you're using your own table, just clean it. Make sure it's nice and clean. See where we're at now. And when you're measuring it, you want to make sure it's not where it's shrinking back, okay? So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I think we got it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 inches. We're just going to set it to the side. And we'll do the next one. Same way. And some of them may get a little bigger at one end than the other. And that's okay. That's all right. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we are not chefs by any means. I know it looks really weird, doesn't it? It looks like I got worms. Oh, I got a worm. It's like a worm from Lotro. I'm gonna eat you. Doesn't glow, so that's good. It's not a glowworm. We'll just do that again on the table. Okay. Like I said, and if it starts to feeling a little sticky, then put it back on your mat. Get a little bit of flour on it. You could even put a little bit of flour on your table. Put a little bit of flour there because this one's kind of sticky. There we go. Now, but too much flour, and could have worse problems. So that's all you're doing. You're just rolling it. Now, are we going to roll every one of these on video? Yeah. Billy, do you really want to sit and watch somebody just sit and do this the whole time? I don't know. It looks like fun. Well, it is a little bit, Billy. But we don't want to make everybody sit and watch the whole time. So once we get these 3 rolled, I'll show you how to braid them. Measure this. We know we can measure this up to this one now. And we can see that, yeah, we're nowhere near. But I think I put a little bit too much flour on the table, so I'm just going to put a little dab of water on there. And like I said, the gloves make it really hard to roll this. Almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. You can't sing that one either. Oh, Little Billy, you're right. You're right. And if it's starting to get really hard to do on the table, you can pick it up and try to roll it in your hands a little bit more. But yeah, I did get a little bit too much flour on it. It will not hurt the baking of it, but it is hurting me to getting it to roll better. But if I wet my hands just a little bit with this water, I can try to Yeah. All right. So maybe a little smidge more because it's bouncing back. All right. So we can get the next one. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and roll the rest of these off screen. But I want to show you how to braid one set first. Okay. Let's see, this one's going a lot easier. All right. So we got our 3 braided there, or our 3 rolled. We're going to go ahead and braid that. Then we're going to roll 3 more, braid it, and then we're going to put those 2 together to make one loaf. All right? So let's check out how to braid it. I'm going to put it on my pan. Okay. Gonna lay that there like that. Try to make it to where it's not going to go over the edge of your table and underneath. If it is, move it up a little. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're putting the ends together like so. All right. Just like that. And I'm just going to kind of pinch them together so it holds them. And then it's like a squid. I'm just going to take this one over that one. Then I'm going to take this one over that. And we're just going to, and after a while, and you can bring them out further if you want. Give them a tighter braid. Then you're just going to continue flipping them over each other. And you can see that this one piece that I didn't get it long enough. So it's going to kind of be a little bit of a booger, but that's okay. And then you're just going to pinch your ends like that. So now we have one braided side. Okay. I'm going to put that diagonal on my pan because my pan's not really long enough. So I'm going to put it diagonal and I'll bring it over and show you again. So there's the first braid. Doesn't look like much, does it? But just wait. Let's do the other one. Let's do one more. We'll do one more so you can see this. Do one more. If this is boring to you, you can turn on your radio. It's so hard to do with these gloves on. But I'll keep them on because safety first. I'm starting in the middle and I'm just kind of rolling my way out to the ends. Measure that. Uh, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay. The next one. See, it's not really, I mean, it's not a lot of work. It's not a lot of time. I'm waiting for it to rise and the anticipation. And then depending on your surface of how you're rolling, like I said, if this was just going to be for us, I wouldn't have the gloves on. This one's really sticking. Just a dusting here. Yeah. See, once you can get a good groove on it, get it started, you're just, again, you're going from the middle, and you can just roll out. Just a smidge more. And if it looks like it's stressing, like this one's splitting a little bit, show you this. So this one's starting to split a little. Just pinch it. Just pinch it back on. And then keep rolling it. You might have to just be a little softer with it. Okay, so that one's ready. We're going to do the third one here. Worms, not worms. It looks like worms. But it's not worms. That's gross. You said it earlier. Yeah, I did. I shouldn't have said it. I'm sorry. It's all right. All right, let's get this last one rolled so we can show them how to put them together. Okay. You kind of run out of room sometimes. There's a little sticky here in the corner. It's sticking to the table. There's a little too big in the middle, so I'm gonna kind of carefully all right, that's pretty good. All right. So I'm going to bring our other pan over. And the reason I do it on the pan is because the oil on the pan helps to move these to twist them a little easier. So again, I'm going to put one down here. I'm going to put one down here. I put one in the middle. I'm going to pinch those tops together. It's a little thick on that end. And then it doesn't matter which one you start with. Start with your right or your left, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just bringing it over. And like you saw with the other one, I mean, you're keeping it tight as you can. And once you get enough of them over, it just becomes, twisting. Twisting the night away. And then at the end, you've got 3 you can put right in your hand and continue on. And then again, you're going to pinch those bottoms. Messed up on that a little bit, but that's okay. All right, once I got that, now I'm going to read you the instructions because, but I covered them up. All right, so now it says, repeat with another 3 ropes to make another braid. Brush one side of the braid with water. Okay, so we're going to take water to one side of this. And again, what did I say about having out all of our stuff? What did I say? To make sure you have everything out before you do this. I had to walk away because I forgot my brush. These things happen, though, and it's okay as long as you know where they are and you can get to them. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our water here. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're just going to take the water and we're just going to brush one side of this. Right? We're just getting it wet. So why? So it can be sticky again. All right. You don't want to saturate it, but this brush doesn't do very well. I used to have a really nice brush, but it got used accidentally for dairy. So I had to move it into the drawer for non-dairy or for dairy items. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put these two loaves together. Okay? But here's another thing I do. I have one big end. I have one little end. I have one big end. I have one little end. So I'm going to turn it around so that the little end and the big ends are opposite of each other. So like so. Okay? And then we're just going to place them together. I'm going to move this pan out of the way. We're just going to switch them together. Now, if you notice it's not really doing so well to come together, just put a little bit more water in between them. Won't hurt a thing. Okay. Then all I'm doing is squishing them together. And then I'm going to take their tops and I'm going to tuck it underneath. I'm going to twist it, pinch it, and tuck it. Same thing here on the bottom. Pinching it and tucking it away. And I see some gaps. See some gaps here. Try to get those to go together. Sometimes it just takes a few seconds to get them to do what you want. Now, if you cook it and the gap stays there, it will cook with a little hole in it. And that's all right, too. It will not hurt it. I promise you it won't hurt it. Okay? Will not hurt it. So then, now you have your braid. There it is. All right? So what do we do once we've got that set? It says, lightly press the two braids together. We did that. Repeat with the remaining doughs and do all of that. Now we're going to cover and let it rise again for another 30 minutes. This is what I'm saying. You do a part, you let it rise. You do a part, you let it rest. So we're going to let it rise again for 30 minutes. Then we're going to come back. We're going to put some egg wash on it, which is an egg and some water on the top. And then we're going to bake it. So for now, we're just going to be patient with it. And I'm going to squeeze it together one more time here. I'm going to get one of my plastic wraps here. Cover over it. I'll cover over it nice and good here. I'm going to tuck it in. And I'm just going to go set it back in the kitchen. Now, hang out for a minute because I want to tell you something. I want to tell you what we're going to try. Can't make any promises, but I'll be right back. Let me just get this in to a warm spot. Okay, so I have a camera. Let me get this here. I have a camera. Hold on. I'm coming. I know I keep talking off camera, don't I? So I have a camera that I can put in the kitchen, and I'm going to put it to the oven. I can't promise it's going to work. But I will try to see if I can video the bread actually cooking and baking. And then we'll do a time lapse of it, But I can't promise that it's going to work, but we'll try it. But for right now, we're just going to let that, I'm going to go ahead and finish braiding those, putting them together, because you don't want to watch that the whole time, right? And then we'll be back in 30 minutes. So until then,